Alright, my friends, buckle up because it's time for my PlayStation 2 collection. This is one of my biggest libraries that I own. It's an easy system to collect for and to get games that you want to play. A lot of good games. Again, not a system I grew up with, but I think I bought one around 2006 or 7 and bought a couple games for, and then I ended up, years later, started buying a bunch of them as I've accumulated a bunch of games for it, and I'm enjoying the system a lot. There's a lot of games I haven't played yet for it, but I'm got a lot here that I can have option to play. But without further ado, let's get it started because we got a lot of games to go through here. 2023 PlayStation 2 collection. We have, starting off with Alias. I feel like we always start off with some kind of banger, huh? Something that you just don't expect. This game I haven't tried yet. I remember this show with Jennifer Garner, and I love these janky licensed games. They're always either funny or they could be downright frustratingly hard, but they're always something, huh? That's from McLean. I'm gonna have to move stuff around here to try and stack games around me here. Taking these off the shelf was a bit of a task. Next we have, another banger, American Idol. We're just starting off with the hot sauce, aren't we, here today? This game is so funny bad. I mean, it's funny to play, if you're in for a good laugh. $1.50. You pretty much make your character and it's like a rhythm game, but a really dumbed down one. Next we have ATV Off-Road Fury 2 by Sony, it looks like. I think Sony was publishing this one. We got Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance. Now, this is one I picked up this past year. I had not played a Baldur's Gate game at that point. I just started playing through the third one. So I've heard great things about these older ones. So I picked this one up. It wasn't too expensive. Came with the manual and everything, so I'll have to go back and check that one out sometime. Then we have Battlestar Galactica. I actually haven't tried this one out. It's like a strategy kind of war game, I think, with ships and stuff. Could be kind of cool. I was a fan of the show, the newer version of the show, quite a lot. So there's that one, Battlestar Galactica. Next we got Brave, The Search for Spirit Dancer. Not even sure what kind of game this is. I think it might be a adventure game, maybe even a 3D platformer, I'm not sure. But I liked the way it looked, and it wasn't expensive or anything. I found it in a game shop. I'll take my chances with games for sure, because I'm not really picky about what I get, because y'all that know me know that I can pretty much find good things in almost every game. Next we got Brunswick Pro Bowling. This was a very cheap buy too from a thrift store. Haven't played it yet, but I've seen gameplay and stuff of it. It seems pretty decent for a bowling game. So we have Bully. This is another thrift store find. I haven't tried this one yet. Everybody talks about how good this game is, so I can't wait to dive into it myself one of these days. From Rockstar. We got next Casper Spirit Dimensions. I haven't played this one yet either. There's a lot of these I haven't tried yet, but I do intend to at least try out every game that I own, guys, at some point, whether I beat them or not. But this one probably gonna be pretty good. I mean, it's probably better than the one that we played on PlayStation 1 for Casper games. Then we have Cat in the Hat. This game was not very good. It was a frustrating and tedious side-scrolling platformer. There's some parts that were alright of the game, I guess, but overall, not a great game at all. The boss fights were stupid as hell. Now for the big one, the infamous one that people know me for here on this channel, that we talk about in almost every stream, and that's Catwoman. Oh, one of my least favorite, if not my least favorite game of all time. This was a playthrough that slowly descended me into madness. I don't ever want to play this game again. If you throw it in for 5 minutes, you might think, oh, it's fun, it's whatever, but trying to play through the game with its controls and its level design, oh my gosh. Terrible game. Next we got Cold Winter. This was a recommendation from a viewer named Sparky, who told me to check this one out. and I'm glad I did. I found it in a game shop, and this was a really good first-person shooter, I gotta say. This is a pretty impressive one, a bit of a hidden gem, if you will. I suggest to check that one out if you like FPS games. Next we have Contra Shattered Soldier. Now I don't know, I haven't even tested this game. My friend gave me this with a bunch of other PS2 games. It is a little scratched, but I think with the resurface it should work pretty well. I haven't tried it yet, but I've heard that this is an alright Contra game on the PlayStation 2. Next we have Cool Borders 2001. That guy's cool. I don't know about you guys, but he's cool. Here's an RPG that I haven't played yet, Dark Cloud. I kind of wanted to try these. Heard the sequel's better, but you know, if I'm going to play the series, I might as well try to start with the first one if I can. Not an expensive game either, so that one is complete too. Dark Cloud. Here's one I got for $2. I still haven't even played this game. Enter the Matrix, with a kind of a lenticular cover. I don't even know what kind of game this is. I haven't even seen the Matrix movies, and I know that's crazy, but I haven't seen them. There's a lot of movies that I haven't seen that most people probably have. But yeah, for $2, I mean, the game can't be that bad, right? I'm sure I've played worse. Final Fantasy X, I guess this is one I gotta own. You know, I haven't played this one. And I also picked up Final Fantasy XII, the Collector's Edition, which is a pretty cool thing. It's like a steel book, and it's got a bonus disc and everything in there with the manual. Really nice looking steel book here. I didn't even know PlayStation 2 had steel books of any kind, so really cool case there for that one. Alright, moving on. What's the next pile? This one over here. Apologize, guys. I'm going to have to do some shuffling around as we go through this collection. I hope you guys are enjoying these. This is actually more work than it seems. I got to pull everything off my shelf, reorganize stuff, and set up the camera and the microphone and all that stuff. So it is a bit of work to set these videos up. I just hope that you guys enjoy these and want this kind of thing maybe every year, maybe yearly. We'll do these collection videos. I don't know. Maybe next year I'll find an easier way to set things up. Next game, Frogger the Great Quest. What a great quest. A 3D platformer, so bad that it's funny. I mean, I don't even know where to start with this one. The lack of challenge in some of the parts, the awful design of the levels or the enemies, the combat, the random dialogue lines, the creepy fairies. There's a lot to digest in this game. I did do a full playthrough. It is quite a game. Frogger the Great Quest. If you like jank, that's probably right up your alley. Next we got God of War. Played this game for the first time like 2 years ago, this series, and man, what a great game this was. I can see why people like this series so much, because if this is where it starts, my goodness, if it only gets better from here. And for a treat. Yeah, I absolutely love that game. And God of War 2, so a fellow YouTuber by the name of Game Dungeon Productions actually sent this to me as a gift. I just have a little problem with this copy. It keeps freezing at one part. I'm going to get it fixed some way. I had it resurface. I think I need to do it one more time, and it should work. Otherwise, you know, I could continue that. From what I played of this one, it seems like it might be better than the first game. But yeah, really excited to have this one still, and once we get that one working again, we will continue our playthrough of God of War 2. Let's have Grand Theft Auto 3. I'm not a huge fan of GTA, to be honest. I know everybody loves these games. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I have mixed feelings about Grand Theft Auto. Excuse me. I think from a gaming perspective, yeah, they're quite good feats, but from what they're like putting out in the world, I'm not a big fan of. Like, I don't know, just this whole gangster lifestyle of, like, you know, going around doing this kind of crap. for kids anyways, 'cause I know there's kids that play these games, and for me that is just wrong. Like if I had kids, they would never touch these games till later. But you have like 5 and 6-year-olds like, oh, I can't wait to play Grand Theft Auto. Like, no, they shouldn't be playing these games, honestly. But you know, I can see why people love them. I also have Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Those are both thrift store buys. So I played a little bit of the third one, and it was pretty good. But again, these aren't games that I'm like fully in love with, I would say, like everybody else. I just don't get like why people think they're the best things ever. But Grand Theft Auto 6 looks pretty good. I might play that one and just see if I enjoy that one a lot. But I've played like a few sessions of 5 and it was okay. You know, I think they're just mostly just fun to throw in and go around and just do crap and just have a silly time with, rather than playing through the actual story of the game. Next we have Gretzky NHL 06. Haven't tried this one out, but you know, really cool. There's so many old hockey games. I'm looking forward to continuing to collect hockey games because I love them so much. I have a feeling that one's probably going to be pretty good. Next we have Half-Life. Half-Life 1. The original PlayStation 2. When I first played this game, I wasn't sure what to expect, but I gotta say, very impressive game that I was getting into the more I played it. I unfortunately got soft locked in this game, so shit, we have to either start it over or I don't know, like I tried like so many methods to try and unsoft lock myself and nothing worked, so I might have to start the whole game over. Very annoying, but great game from what I played of it. Next we have Hard Hitter Tennis from Atlas. A little arcade tennis game. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. This is a pretty good game, actually pretty impressive for the PlayStation 2. I was surprised by how much was to this game when I played through it. Definitely a really good Harry Potter game. And here we go. We got Haven, Call of the King, a 3D platformer from Midway. I have not tried this one yet, but it looks pretty epic as far as 3D platformers. Looks like it tries to do a lot of different things, so that could be good and bad. We don't know. We'll see. Alright. Moving on. We still have a lot to go through, my friends. A lot. I think these are all still in alphabetical order. They should be. High Heat, Major League Baseball 2003, with Kurt Schilling on the front. Here's a gaming series I absolutely adore. That's Hunter the Reckoning Wayward. If you watch my GameCube collection, you'll see the first one. This is the second in the series. Played this one about 2 years ago. And definitely really good. Not as good as the first one or even as good as the third one, but still worth playing. Hunter the Reckoning Wayward. Those are good horror, dungeon crawling, slight RPG kind of games. Here's a series I keep hearing about from the viewers. That's Jak and Daxter. This is Jak 2. I haven't played any of these games. I just recently found this one in a store for like $10, so I figured why not get it. It is complete, so maybe we'll be playing that one this next year. Justice League Heroes. Looking forward to trying this. Heard this is kind of like a X-Men Legends type of game. I absolutely love the X-Men Legends games. So this was a recommendation from my buddy Sean, Beantown Hero. Kingdom Hearts 1. Played this for the first time like a year and a half ago. I gotta say, in all honesty, I didn't love this game. I liked it, I certainly liked it, and I appreciate it, and I'm glad I played it and everything like that, but I would say I've played so much RPGs that are way better. I played the third one first, so maybe I'm a little spoiled in that way, because I loved the third one. But you know, that's what got me into the series, and I went back and I played this one. And you know, I did like it, but there's a lot of aspects of it that I did not enjoy. Like the camera angles, for one, were terrible. The boss fights were terrible, and frustrating, and just not fun. They just weren't, especially the final boss was probably one of the worst experiences of a final boss I've ever had in a video game. But the world theming was great. You know, the characters obviously that they picked were good. You know, the music was good. The story was fine. So there's a lot to like about it, but definitely had its issues. And then there's Kingdom Hearts 2. Now I haven't played this one yet. People say this is the best in the series, so if it's anything closer to the third one, I'm sure I'm really gonna like this. As long as they improve upon the things I don't like about the first game, I'm sure I'm really gonna like this one. So we'll have to check that one out. Next we have Kaya, or Kia, Dark Lineage. I have no idea what type of game this is. I picked it up because I liked the art style and, you know, the graphics and stuff. I was like, you know what, this might be kind of fun. Maybe it's an adventure game, maybe it's a platformer. I don't know. But we're gonna check it out sometime. It looks like Atari published this one. You know, it wasn't expensive or anything, so there's that. Next we have The Legend of Alon Dar, or however you pronounce that. This is a RPG that was on my radar that I kind of wanted to get, a cheap one. There's a lot of cheap RPGs you can get in the PS2. Since I've been getting into RPGs the past like 4 or 5 years, I've been buying a lot of them, and the PS2 has a ton. So this one could be pretty decent, you know. Here's a pretty good wrestling game, Legends of Wrestling for the PlayStation 2. Had a lot of fun playing this one, goofy fun. Created a character, we created Milfy Matt and had a good time. Next we got Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. Yeah, I haven't played this one yet. I don't know if this is one of the ones... Somebody told me one of the old Lord of the Rings games is really good, but I don't know if this is the one or not. There's that one, and then I also have Return of the King as well. Now this one's interesting, because actually I didn't even mean to buy this game. Because I initially bought Two Towers game, but inside was the booklet for Return of the King and a copy of the Return of the King. Because as you can see, the case is actually... This is from a thrift store too. If I can get it out. Maybe. As you see, it's still the Two Towers. So I just put the booklet in front. So it's like, you know, I have that game. I don't even know. Is it even that scratched up? It's scratched up, but it should work a bit. Should be fine. I haven't played that one yet. So then I actually ended up going out and buying this one from a thrift store as well. I found it for a couple bucks. So yeah. I got both of them. I just think that's funny that Return of the King was in there. What else we got? What's the next pile? This one right here. Alright. Pushing these away. Next up we got Magic's Music Maker, which is a pretty good little music. This is kind of one of the first music programs I kind of learned to use. And this is a very basic one. So I had this, and then I had a game on my original Xbox that was like a music program. So then when I started using a music program to actually record and make music that you hear on my channel now, it made it a little bit easier to transition to, you know, because I'd already had, you know, practice with some of these more basic ones in these games. So who says games don't teach us stuff, right? Because of games like this, I kind of learned some basics of, you know, making songs in music programs. So it's a nice little game there. Next we have Medal of Honor Frontline. I have played a little bit of this before when I picked it up. This was a $2 buy when I got it. Seemed like it was pretty good. I've heard that these Medal of Honor games are good. Well, I mean this one in particular. We'll have to stream that at some point. This one I did stream and play through and did like. That's Medal of Honor Rising Sun. This was really good. There's a few annoying levels and stuff, but overall I'd say it's very good. Definitely a quality first-person shooter on the PS2. Not as good as Cold Winter, though. I think Cold Winter, I think, is better. MLB Slugfest 2003. Haven't tried this yet, but I know I'm going to like it because I'm a fan of these arcadey sports games. And this one's kind of like an NFL Blitz, but for baseball with my boy A-Rod on the cover, so that should be something. Next, we got Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, which I believe I did try on stream. And then we have Mortal Kombat Deception as well. Boy, still a few more stacks. Hang with me, everybody. I hope everybody's not falling asleep at this point, but if you have, that's okay. NCAA Football 06. This was another just thrift store find for a couple bucks. This one actually looks pretty good, so I'll have to try that out sometime. Again, I do like my sports games as well as all the other ones. You guys see, I'd say I have a pretty diverse game collection of all different types of games. Something in there for everybody. NFL 2K2. Can't go wrong with the 2K sports games, really. Back in the day, got Randy Moss on the front. I had one of these on Dreamcast that I really loved. I can't remember which one it was. I need to buy it again. A couple more hockey games here real quick. We got NHL 2001 with Owen Nolan. This is a pretty good one. NHL 2003 with Jerome McGinley. I think I played this one on the GameCube back in the day. And then I will stream some of these too at some point. We'll play them for a night. NHL 2K6 as well. With, who is that on the cover? Is that Ed Belfour? It might be Ed Belfour, I'm not sure. Alright, here's more of a recent PS2 pickup, Nicktoons Unite. I didn't even hear about this game. I just kind of saw it in the game shop and thought it looked really fun, like a beat 'em up, a Nickelodeon beat 'em up or something with like Jimmy Neutron and SpongeBob. So, very curious about this one. We'll have to play it and see what it's like. If it's a beat 'em up, it might be really, really fun. Next up, here's a really cool game, Nightmare Before Christmas. Oogie's Revenge. I do have a bit of mixed feelings with this game. First of all, it does capture the essence of Nightmare Before Christmas amazingly well. It's almost like watching another film. The way the art style of the game is, the music, the characters, the voice acting is all authentic. So if you love the film, you'll probably really like just the feeling of this game. But that said, there is some like frustrating missions and boss fights and stuff, you know, not everything in the game, but there are a lot of parts where I'm like, I don't like this part, I don't enjoy it, it's just really hard to get through. There's like a rhythm game part to some of it, and that is like really annoying. But overall, definitely a game worth checking out, though. There's a lot of good things about it. It's close to a God of War type of game, if you can believe that. So it's definitely a game worth checking out. Especially if you're a fan of God of War, you'll probably really like this one. It'll be right up your alley. And it's Nightmare Before Christmas. It's got an awesome like manual with lots of like really great like pictures and stuff in there in full color. It's really cool. Yeah, pretty awesome game. I just think there's a few levels that really ruined it for me. Otherwise, it would have been probably more like a 9 out of 10 as opposed to being like a 7 out of 10. We have another RPG, Okage Shadow King. Haven't tried this one yet, but definitely one that I wanted to check out for my PS2. The art style is very interesting. So, yeah, hopefully that one's pretty good. You guys tell me. Here's one that's not so good, Orphan Scion of Sorcery. I mean, I don't hate the game. There's definitely some fun to it. There's a lot of fun voice acting, funny voice acting, and jank. I got to the final boss, but he's too cheap to defeat. I have no idea how to beat him. He's just so hard, and he has so many cheap moves that he does to you. And you're fighting alone, so it's like you don't have your party with you. It's like, what the heck? So yeah, I mean, I got to that point and just sadly couldn't finish the game, but maybe one day I'll beat him. Not the worst thing, you know, it's a PS2 launch title, I believe. So, you know, definitely maybe something worth checking out. Next we have Peter Jackson's King Kong. I heard this is actually really good. I don't know, I found this for $2 or $3 or something like that. So we'll see. We'll see if it's any good. Ooh, here's another banger. We got Pimp My Ride. Terrible game. Just boring game, more like it. Like, it doesn't control bad or anything. It's just boring. It's stupid. Like, the things you do in the game. It's like a very, very poor man's GTA, where you're just driving around trying to collect money, doing like stupid, boring tasks to get the money so you can pimp someone's ride who needs it pimped. That's all it is. And it's stupid, but it's Pimp My Ride, and I got it for $1. So, what else can I say about that? Here's a decent little game, Pirates Legend of the Black Buccaneer. I'm a big fan of pirate-themed things. This one wasn't too bad. It's like an adventure type of game with some light platforming and puzzle solving, some combat, and it was a nice little playthrough. Not gonna wow you, but I'd say if I grew up playing this game, I probably would have a lot more nice things to say about it. And, probably had good nostalgia as well. Speaking of pirates, here is a very good game, Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. What a surprise this was. I bought it not expecting anything from this really. When I started playing, I was like, ooh, we have a good game here. Like, this is a legit good game for a licensed game. I gotta say, it's got a lot of cool aspects and gameplay mechanics to it. The graphics are really good. I think this was also released on like 360, maybe the PS3 as well, because it was kind of one of those titles that came out around the time that a new gen was coming. But yeah, for PlayStation 2, this is a must-play. Really, it's a good one. Really good game. Next we have Primal. This was a recommendation from fellow YouTuber GhostHost22, who has this game and has played it. I have not tried it yet though, but I did pick it up, so we'll have to dive into that one. A lot of good games to choose from still on the PlayStation 2. I actually haven't streamed a lot of PlayStation 2 the past year. I've just been busy with other systems. But as you can see, I have a lot here. We still have a bit to go through, guys. So hang tight. We got Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. Haven't tried this one yet. We have... This is the reason why I wanted my PS2 at the time, and that was Pro Evolution Soccer 2007. And because this is one of my favorite gaming series of all time, of the PES games. So this is a fantastic soccer game. And why I wanted this on the PlayStation 2 was because at the time the edit mode was only in this version of the game, and my friend and I used to use the edit mode to create teams and players every year the game came out so we could play. So the 360 version of the game did not have edit mode. Only the PlayStation 2 one for some reason did. So I ended up buying a PlayStation 2, a used PS2 that I still use to this day, just for this game at the time. I mean, I think I bought Twisted Metal Black as well, which was also a good reason to get it. And then end up, you know, playing the game, and we had a fun time with it, and I started buying PS2 games after that. So I'm very glad I don't regret buying the PS2 for that game, because it is a game I put a lot of hours into that game. Love it. Next we have Ratchet Deadlocked. I tested this game out a little bit once, seemed decent. Here's what I'm looking forward to trying: Return to Castle Wolfenstein. This looks like a really good FPS. Could be awesome to play through. Like some horror elements to it as well. If it's anything like the newer Wolfenstein games, it'd probably be really good. Ooh, we have Robin Hood, Defender of the Crown. I'm sure this is a sought-after Capcom game, huh? No idea what this game's going to be like, but I bought it because it looked awful. It was only a couple dollars. So, you know me. Gotta add it in there. Gotta try it sometime. Robin Hood, Defender of the Crown. Here's one of my heavy hitters on the PS2. That is Silent Hill 2. This is the, obviously, original version. The black label and all that. Just a wonderful game. I'm glad I bought this a long time ago. You see, I got it for $30 when I had picked it up, probably around 2000, I don't know, 10 or something. I'm not sure when it was, but it was one of the first PlayStation 2 games I did own, because I didn't have a lot of games for the system for a while after buying it. And man, I'm so glad I picked that up. And I actually beat it for the first time a couple years ago. This is a 10 out of 10 horror game. Fantastic. They are remaking it, so if you haven't played it and want to play it, the cheapest way might be to buy the remake. This is probably still going to be the better version of the game. You know, I always like original versions way better than any remakes or remasters any day. But this is going to cost you probably up around $200 these days. It's an expensive ass game, but it's a hell of a good game. We have more. We have The Sims Busting Out. Tried this out one night, off camera or something. Didn't seem too bad. Haven't really played too much of the Sims games before. Another horror game, another one that's going up in price. That's Siren. This is it's a really hard game, very cryptic game. I do like it a lot, but I don't know if I'll ever beat it, honestly, because of how cryptic it is. But the atmosphere is very good. It'll probably freak you out a little bit. The faces are realistic, but the one thing that's really weird, it throws me off, is you have Japanese characters, but they have Australian voice actors for it, so it's hilarious to hear that come out of their mouths. It's actually kind of just takes away a little bit of the tension of the game when you hear them speak. But it's a cool game for sure. Definitely check it out if you can. Siren. Again, I bought that one when it was like, I think I got that game for around $20 or something when I picked it up. I'm not sure. Next we have Sly 2, Band of Thieves. This is a series that people have been recommending to me. So I finally found one of the games in a shop. We'll have to check this one out. Sly 2. Sly Cooper 2. I always look for these and I can never find them, so I finally found this one. We got Soccer Mania. Lego Soccer Mania, that is. I don't know how this is going to be, but I will buy pretty much any soccer game I can get my hands on. This wasn't expensive or anything. Whether it's any good or not, we'll find out. Could be a fun arcadey-like soccer game. We have SOCOM 3, U.S. Navy SEALs. Haven't tried this yet. This is a thrift store buy for like $2 or $3 or something. In good shape. Sonic Heroes, another thrift store buy. Check that one out at some point. I got so many PS2 games that I need to still play, as you can see. I feel like I played a lot, but I also haven't played barely any of them. It's weird. Soul Calibur 3. This was a buy this past year. I haven't tried this one yet either, but you know, I like the Soul Calibur series, so that's probably going to be really good. We have Spider-Man 1 for the PS2. We have Spiderwick Chronicles, a pretty good little licensed game, I gotta say. A little bit of a hidden gem. I like that game. I like the movie too. Splashdown, a decent wave race like jet skiing game. So if you like those kind of games. Again, some cool level designs in that one too. Here's a really good game. SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom. Fantastic 3D platform, my goodness. I'm not even a SpongeBob fan, but this game's so good. Like, it is really good. I had a blast playing through that one. Some really cool levels in there. We got SSX for the PlayStation 2. I haven't played that one yet. And where are we going? How many more games we got left? We have like another stack here, guys, so we're almost there. Star Trek Conquest. Bought this game along with the next game that you're about to see at the same time, because I found them both in a little game shop, thrift store type of thing. This is a lot like, I think, going to be like the Battlestar Galactica game, like a ship strategy war game. Definitely something I can get into when I try it out. You know, again, I plan on trying these games, the ones I haven't tried yet. Next we have Star Trek Voyager Elite Force. So this is a completely different type of game. I think this is a first-person shooter with like the Quake engine or something. So I'm very intrigued by this one. Could be pretty fun. Oh yeah, powered by Quake 3. So the Quake 3 engine on this game. Again, I bought that with the other Star Trek games. So there we go. A couple Star Trek games I can try out at some point. Here's Stitch Experiment 626. This was an okay game. Played this one. It's a 3D platforming action game. There is some annoying things about it, but overall not the worst game. You know, decent little like platformer. I have the Street Fighter Anniversary Collection. My friend gave this one to me because he was getting rid of some of his physical games and just decided to hand them over because he knew I stream and everything, so he didn't want to sell them or anything. This one's got Third Strike and Street Fighter 2 Anniversary Edition. Hyper Street Fighter 2 Anniversary Edition, I guess. I still want to get Third Strike for my Dreamcast, though, because that's probably the prime way to play it. But it is cool to have this little collection there. Just have a really good RPG, Summoner. This was an awesome game. Long playthrough, but man, the story kept me in it throughout, I would say, surprisingly. Because some games, the story can kind of like, I don't know, it takes a lot for me to stay engaged with the story in a game a lot of the time. And most of the time, if I'm finishing a game, it might be because I really enjoy the gameplay, or, you know, I just like finishing games in general. But the story sometimes is really hard for me to stay engaged with, and this one, I definitely was. And the gameplay is also good. It's got like an MMO kind of style combat. High recommendation for me if you like RPGs. This is a good one. This is a really good one. And so I liked it so much, I went out and got the sequel as well, which I haven't checked out yet, but I'm hoping that it's at least as good as the first one, if not better. But yeah, looking forward to trying that one out as well, because the first one was so good. Now we have Suzuki Superbikes 2, a little racing game. I assume this is going to be like a sim racer. Looks like it's got pretty good graphics. That was a thrift store buy. We have Swing Away Golf. I think I tested this once and it seemed alright. A little like arcadey type of golf game. Kind of like Hot Shots Golf or something. So there's that. Here's Tak and the Power of Juju. This was $1 in a thrift store. It looks like it might be a 3D platformer. I think it is. I haven't played it yet. But yeah, probably be pretty good. Hopefully. A decent Tetris game. We got Tetris Worlds. I played a little bit of this. You know, it's got some cool themes to it and everything. I mean, it's Tetris on the PS2. Nothing crazy. I love you know, old school Tetris, so you really can't go wrong with having Tetris. Here's Thrillville. This was $3.50. I grew up with the theme park, one of the theme park ones that you could make on PC. I forget what the name. I think it was Roller Coaster Tycoon, and loved that game. So I think this is gonna be right up my alley in that sense of creating like a theme park and getting to like live out your theme park fantasy or something. I haven't put it in yet, so I'll have to test it out, because I know this is a game I'm gonna have to sit down and really like learn everything about to really get the most out of it. It's not something you can probably just throw in and play for a little bit. We have Tom Clancy's, or just Rainbow Six 3, whatever you want to put it. I think I have it under my R. No, I do have it under my T's. So Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six 3. Next we have Tomb Raider, The Angel of Darkness. Let's hope this isn't as bad as Tomb Raider Chronicles on the Dreamcast. I've heard this one's pretty bad. We'll see. We'll see. Now we have Tony Hawk's Project 8. I did play a little bit of this one before. This seemed pretty good for Tony Hawk games, so I bought this one for $1. And Tourist Trophy, the Real Riding Simulator from the makers of Gran Turismo. So this could be pretty solid for like a Kawasaki bike racing game. Alright. Final stretch. We have Trans World Surf. Look at that dude on the cover. He's ready. Are you guys ready? Here's one of the reasons why I got my PS2 as well at the time, and that is Twisted Metal Black. This is an awesome game. Really good vehicle combat, and it's kind of creepy. The story, like the characters are kind of creepy. Gameplay's so good. Levels are great. Just an awesome game. Probably one of those games you must own on PS2. We have Unlimited Saga. This is another one I got from a game shop, because they know I've been buying a lot of RPGs over the past couple years. Haven't tried it out yet. I heard this one's pretty hard though in terms of like learning the mechanics, but you know, we'll see. It's by Square Enix. Unlimited Saga. Next we have Van Helsing. Is this going to be good? Is this going to be bad? Time will tell. Hugh Jackman maybe could tell me whether it's good or bad. We got Virtua Fighter 4, a little fighting game on there. We have Winning 11-7. So this is from the Pro Evolution Soccer series before it was named PES. It came over to the States as Winning 11. So this is the oldest PES game I own now, actually. is this one right here, PS2. It's pretty good. I didn't grow up playing this one, but you know, I bought it later on and tried it out. It's still, I guess, you know, it's still a decent soccer game. We have another soccer game on World Tour Soccer 2002. Have not tried this yet, but I think I'm probably going to like it too, because I like generally most every soccer game I try out. 989 Sports, I remember them. That's Joe Max Moore on the cover from the U.S. national team. Former New England Revolution player. Yeah, we'll see. Again, that was a really cheap buy. You know, these couple bucks here and there. I got a couple wrestling games that I'm excited to try out. We have WWE SmackDown Shut Your Mouth and WWE SmackDown Just Bring It. I'm not sure which one came first. Maybe this one, but I don't really know. But these ones look really good. I bought these, I think, at the same time because they weren't too expensive or anything. And I've been buying a lot of wrestling games because, man, I love wrestling games. So fun. Hopefully those are good. One of my favorite PS2 games right here, and that's the X-Files Resistor Serve. This game, I don't know how this game's still under the radar. It doesn't make any sense to me. This is such a good game. It is a mix of Silent Hill meets Resident Evil. It's definitely more Silent Hill than Resident Evil, but it's a survival horror game in the X-Files universe with authentic character models and voices, and even the writer of the show. So it feels like you're playing out episodes of the show as you go along, and it's just really, really good. Like, there is some like hard parts. I'd say Mulder's playthrough is definitely a lot harder than Scully's. That is 100% true. Mulder's has some much harder stuff. Like, he has a final boss, for instance, that's really hard, where she doesn't even like have a final boss, so that I remember. But I've done both playthroughs on the channel, because yeah, there's two different playthroughs. You pick Mulder or Scully, and there's differences, different little sections and stuff like that to each playthrough, so it's worth checking out each one. So it's really, really good. I mean, atmosphere is amazing. Everything's so authentic to like how the show is, and yeah, just I can't recommend this game enough. Probably the prices continuing to go up in this game too. If you're buying for America, just be careful because there is a PAL version of the game, so make sure you get the one that has that NTSC, you know, region on it, which I had to look out for when I was buying this off eBay to make sure. I think I got this for around $40. But yeah, I love that game. And a couple more really good games here. X-Men Legends, awesome game. X-Men Legends 2, played through both of these recently for the first time, and I loved them. I did try out, I think, the first X-Men Legends a bit when I was younger, because one of my brothers was really into these. But yeah, these are awesome games. My goodness, good dungeon crawlers for sure. High recommendation there if you like Diablo type games. The camera wants to keep moving around. Last game, Zapper One Wicked Cricket. This was a recent pickup too, I guess you could say. Haven't tried it out yet, but it looks like it's like kind of like a Frogger game in terms of just hopping along, trying to solve puzzles and dodge enemies. Thought it looked pretty fun. I saw Nitro Rad review it, so I thought it looks pretty decent. And that is it. That is all my PS2 games, guys. Thank you for sticking with me for these 45 minutes. And it was a lot, but I'm happy to show you. That's not the biggest collection in my library either. I have two that are actually bigger than that one, so on the Xbox. So you guys will see those in other videos. Thank you so much. Till next time, 0 is the number.